right, everyone, welcome to day 36 of the Lockdown Golf Podcast. And if you're watching this on YouTube, episode 16 of That Range Life, a show sometimes about golf. I am your starting shortstop, Bill Bush of the Chicago Cubs. And with me, as always, is Kris McEwen, chrismcEwen.com, at Kris McEwen on the social medias. Kris, how are you, bud?
I'm good, man. It's been an eventful weekend, to say the least, over at the at Casa de McEwen.
I can't wait to get into it. But first, I want to point out you and I match with our red outerwear and our royal blue hats.
It's true. I like it.
I do too, but at the same time, it's also driving me insane, especially because I haven't worn like a baseball hat. And normally, I'd be wearing my baseball hat like way down to block that sun out and feel those short hops. So When I do it, I'm like, oh my God, this is like, I look like a baseball player. I mean, closer to like Carlos Beltran than Javi Baez. But anyway,
you have a little Schwarber in you, maybe? I don't know.
Maybe I can get like this thing going. I look like one of the like mid 90s thick relief pitchers.
Right. Right. Who's the one that's on, who's been pitching forever? The name escapes me now.
Not Sabathia.
No, but Sabathia had a kick to the side.
And he's a big boy.
Yeah. Anyways, whatever. He played for the Mets. He pitched for the Mets last year, I think.
Yeah, and it's like I'm picturing it. And
Bartolo Colon. Bartolo Colon. That's it.
It's like, yes, two guys. I got I don't know if it'll get recorded on camera here, but just right there, a nice Wilson A2000, which we've talked about multiple times on the show.
Yeah.
And we're like, who's this Hall of Fame pitcher? I can't think of it. So anyways, late recording for us as usual on Sunday nights these days. We had episode 5 and 6 of The Last Dance, the Michael Jordan / 97-98 Bulls documentary. Kris,
fun episodes.
So good.
Yeah.
Like I told you on the first take of tonight's show that I was ready to run through a goddamn brick wall after watching it. I mean, I was just like, let's go. We had Dream Team. We had Kobe. We had the Knicks. I'd say the birth of the Knicks. I'm like, God, I forgot about how much these games drove me crazy. They really kind of glossed over that Knicks stuff. That Knicks series was unbelievable, and it was rough. Yeah. Like it was, that was a hard fought series. And that was a series where I remember being like, I don't know if they can beat this team. Like there were moments of like, I don't know how that Knicks team didn't win anything. Like at Houston, I know they were phenomenal in the 2 years in between when Jordan gave the league a break. Right. I don't know how that Knicks team never won anything, especially with Pat Riley as a coach. Yeah, you had Ewing. John Starks was, I hated the guy, but he was a good basketball player. That's for sure. So good. Yeah. Charles Oakley beating people up. It was a good Knicks team for sure. I always wondered, even back then, like Charles Oakley and Michael Jordan to this day are still really good friends. And Charles Oakley was this guy in the early Bulls days. I know competitive nature trumps friendships in Jordan's world, but that had to carry some weight. It's like you would see with Barkley, with Magic, with not with Isaiah. How about him freezing out Isaiah from winning a gold medal for his country? I guess it sounded like nobody wanted Isaiah on that team. I was gonna say nobody liked Isaiah. I believe that. I bet you it was for Magic. Sure. Magic, Larry Bird being like. Yeah. I have a feeling Larry Bird was like the team was like the honorary player, assistant player / assistant GM, not player coach, player assistant GM for that team as the elder statesman. And then Magic being Magic, same thing. Yeah. Magic might've been a little more player coach-ish. And then Jordan, was the star, obviously, but I don't think anybody wanted to play with him. No, you know what? You reap what you sow, man. You reap what you sow. That dude was
He was a jackass. He was a jackass of a player. He didn't get along with anybody. So you know what? Screw you.
Do you know what these?
Sorry, Pistons fans.
Yeah, I'm not sorry to John Heisey of DriveRangeHeroes.com. What? I like Joe Dumars back in the day, but I got to tell you, all the clips from the Pistons stuff back then, and Joe Dumars being like peacekeeper and commanding the respect he did from both teams on the court. I'm like, God, I secretly forgot how much I love Joe Dumars even back then.
He was a good player. He was a good player.
Consummate professional.
That's true. He went out and did his job and played basketball. That was it.
Won a couple ships along the way. You know what I'm saying?
He did. That's true. It's true.
But yeah, so it was awesome.
The other great story was that legendary practice during the 92 Dream Team run. When they just went back and forth, and then Magic said something to Jordan, and that was the end of it. But they were saying, like, you brought Chicago Stadium here, like getting all the calls. Like, they were legit, like,
Jordan
at each other.
Just like, well, it's the 90s now.
Right. That's right.
What is that? And then he's like, what does that mean? He goes, it's the 90s. And I think, that story's been known for quite some time.
Yeah.
But it was nice to get the added coverage because it's been so limited due to, I think, lack of footage over the years. But get that just extra added bit we didn't have before to obsess over and be like, no, you got to go watch the old YouTube video, then go watch the Last Dance part about it. But it was so good. And then I don't know if my personal favorite part was Jordan rushing Pippen out of the locker room. And I don't think Pippen was going to play golf with him, but to get to his tee time. And then I got
a 3:30 tee time.
If I had time, I didn't have time because I needed to finish the show on time so we could record. But I wanted to go back and get a shot of when he's telling Harper, he's like, "Hey, just get your clubs. I'm back there. Come sit up here with me." And Harper and him just sitting like, this close to each other. And I think it's
like nose to nose in the passenger seat of the golf cart.
Well, no pun intended. It shows though, like, he might harp all over you in practice and just ride you. Doesn't mean you're not his pal. It's good. And like him and Harper were very good. I'm sure they still are very good friends, supposedly.
Yeah.
But
do we know what Jordan's handicap is? Do we have any idea? Have you ever heard? I don't know.
I feel like I heard he's playing at around a 10.
Okay. That seems about right. Because whenever there's footage of him playing golf, he's like, man, I can't drive today. I can't putt today. Like he sounds like us.
When every time you see him, it's like you see me like, he can play, but he never looks that good.
Right.
But yeah, it's same thing. Like, man, he was a more than adequate golfer while he was the best basketball player in the world. And everything we said, he was so competitive where it's like, it doesn't matter how bad he is. That competitive drive is, I'll string together 7 birdies in a row. Like, I swear I'm a 10.
Right.
I don't know if anyone caught though. He's talking about his putts and they're showing it like up close putter shots. He had that Scotty Cameron.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I'm doing them. Oh no, this was the 97-98 run. The Scotty Cameron Terillium Newport. And I went, I have one of those too.
Oh, look at you.
Maybe I need to make it a 36 1/4 inch putter. Like I think I saw I did see he used that. Cause then I wonder what kind of random Michael Jordan golf stuff is out there on eBay. And there's a guy selling 3 Michael Jordan owned putters and they're reasonably priced. They're also like trash putters. And it's weird stuff. Like who would fake that? One of them is it doesn't say his name anywhere on it, except it has those like custom ID bands around that say like your name and your address, like return if found kind of thing. So it had the medalist logo, Michael Jordan, and then Libertyville, Chicago, Libertyville, Illinois, and the zip code. And I go, and it was worn like as it would be with the age of the putter. And I'm going, I have no reason to believe that is his part, but they were all 36 1/4 that I saw. So I'm assuming his Terillium was. So yes, I probably have to go extend mine to 36 and quarterback. It's just like Mike's. I want to be like Mike.
The other part too that I really enjoyed was near the end of the episode of episode 6, I guess it would have been, when he's in the Land Rover with what's his name, with
Ahmad Rashad. Show us some
Ahmad
respect.
Rashad, and they're stuck in traffic on 290. It's like even Jordan gets stuck in traffic every now and then because 290.
Well, just imagine like being like, huh. That is a crazy red Range Rover. And then you just see Ahmad Rashad and Jordan, and they're like, let's face it, Ahmad Rashad was a big deal. I think it was every Sunday morning, or was it Saturday morning? Don't remember, but I was like, hell yeah, inside stuff.
Yep.
And his co-host.
I think it was Saturday morning after Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell, guys, by the way. Do you remember Saved by the Bell when the did like the beach seasons, and Leah Remini was, I think her name was Stacy, and she worked at the beach club her dad owned, and Zach. I think, man, it's like Zach between Kelly Kapowski and Stacy just breaking all these heartbreakers for preteen and teenage boys in the early 90s. You know what I'm saying? And then she was in the Scientology.
Well,
no shit. We should have brought that up. There was some other gems that just, like, honestly, these episodes blew me away. The Seinfeld stuff was awesome, and it was weird.
Oh my god, this isn't going to work, by the way.
Yeah, that was, God, he's the best. He
is so great. He's so great. Yeah,
Jordan was almost like a little too like game respecting game there, and it wasn't registering for me. But then I know, like, after, while I was waiting for you and your 75 minutes to set up, I went on Twitter. Here's what's trending. Trends for you. Hooters was number 1.
Right, because that's where Rodman was going.
Because Rodman, when Phil gave him a break, went to Hooters. Yeah,
right.
And I loved it because we've learned that Phil and Dennis were and still are very close.
Yeah.
It felt like Phil was asking what Rodman was doing. Like, hey, you're going to the pool? Like, he'd come hang out with Dennis.
Right.
And he's like, hell no, I'm going to go get some Hooters. Then an ad, then Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Then Miller Lite, when they were sitting on the massage tables after the game, crushing Miller Lights.
Yeah. That was a big thing. There was always Ron Harper loved Miller Lite. That was always something that I remember knowing. I don't know why.
Scotty's like, don't put this on camera. Don't show us drinking beer. And Harp's like, you can film me, do whatever you want.
Yeah, yeah.
But I love that, like, everything in my trending was related to these shows. Dead on. Yeah. Dead on. But so that was Last Dance. I enjoyed it this week, and I can't wait for next week. Except I will tell you, it's like I wake up Sunday, get my bearings, and go, all right, Last Dance night. Something to look forward to. And I go, oh, I wish it wasn't tonight, because then I remember we have to record our show after. And
You're right. I know.
Oh, these are the nights I'm starting my work week that's already super tense going. Well, good thing I was asleep at like 2:30 because McEwen and I had to record a show.
I know.
And then along those lines, I'm finding myself, one, because I don't want to bother you, and I feel like I can do that. But on the weekends now, it's like I try not to text you, reply to a tweet, talk to you.
Oh, just for the show?
Because, well, 1, I don't want to bother you. 2, the show. I'm like, Kris and I have a much better show on Sunday. We don't really talk from like Friday afternoon till about now, Sunday night. That said, I had to break that code yesterday when I got furious.
Yeah, you were.
And I
were upset.
It's now been 24 hours, and I've decided I don't want to comment on it due to potential listening. I will say I had an opportunity to make a few jabs that landed today.
Nice.
Which I told my wife, nothing was accomplished by it, but I feel great. Much better.
Right.
I got it.
Right.
But yeah, so just in prepping this, I'm like, we're going to record late. And then I try to like minimize my again, to not, because we do, like, let's face it, right now in quarantine, other than the people who live in your house and then some coworkers, if you're fortunate to still be working, you don't talk to a ton of people constantly, and you and I talk constantly. So I don't want to drive you nuts, and I want to maybe
you could never.
That's not true. We have, and I can tell because it's like later in the week when you and J-Rev start being meaner to me and text me. I'm not even doing anything but being like a good pal to you guys. Oh, just caught a expletive there. You're welcome, mother. But anyway, so yeah, I look forward to Sunday because it's our catch-up show, and if we don't talk a ton, which I don't want to set this precedence either, because I do want to be like, oh, we're allowed to talk. I feel like we hit better.
Yeah.
Let's move on to another television show. If you recall, I recently spoke about how I think it was when John Claffey of Tour Edge was on our show. I started talking about how I want to watch the show Outer Banks. And if it wasn't that show, oh well. I talked about it, okay?
Yeah, you did.
It's supposed to be young, good-looking people.
Right. On the beach or something, right?
On the beach, and lots of skin, and very sort of promiscuous. All right. Well,
and they're looking for treasure, right?
Looking for treasure.
Was that
looking for treasure. So we finally started it. I have so much to say. So one, what it was billed as, still young, good-looking people, a lot of like shirtless guys and girls in bikinis, sure, but it's not. Yeah. It's not like raunchy out there. I thought like this show should kill amongst the teenage crowd. Like, it almost has more of an OC vibe, if you will.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think it could do well in that crowd. But I have to tell you, well, all right, first off, these kids are all supposed to be like 16-year-olds in high school. And they're like, you look like you're 33. You're not a kid. This main character, John B., is played by a guy named, it's like Chase Stone, something like that.
Of course, right.
Kris, he might be the most stunning, beautiful human being I've ever seen in my life. I keep saying, I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. This guy is beautiful. I'm like, I've never seen anybody like this in the world. And of course, his stock like you do some Googling, his stock is rising. And his buddy, who's like, a primary character, but not the main guy, is also a young, good looking guy who like looks like a peasant because he's up against this dude, right?
Yeah.
Well, we're saying like, man, everybody in the show is just so good looking. Well, then later, I don't know, it was the first episode, second episode where I make this comment. This girl who's going to play, and she's like, he's the poor guy. It's the Pogues and the Kooks are the rich people, right, on the island, the country club people. Well, she's like the top kook girl that we're going to follow in this. She enters into it. Same thing. My wife's like, and look at her. She's stunning. Yeah. And you're like, God, I have never seen. Put it this way. The Pogue girl is also gorgeous. Yeah. But like, again, but
she's the poor girl, right?
It looks like, well, no, she's rich.
Oh,
but she doesn't identify with the rich crowd.
Oh, got it. Right.
So she hangs out with the Pogues. But she does belong to the country club that all the Kooks belong to.
Right.
Anyway, the people on this show, top to bottom, are just stunning looking. I've never seen anything like this in my life.
So you continue to watch?
So we're watching it, and I got to tell you, there's a lot of overacting, bad writing. And again, like the OC, very OC, like,
yeah.
I'm hooked. I don't know how many episodes. We watched 6 episodes. Don't know how many we have left. I mean, we're talking. I feel like I talk about, hey, with kids and everything, the longer shows, it's hard to binge watch. We're watching like 3 episodes a night and being like, it's 10:45. Really? We'll be in bed before midnight. It's fine.
Yeah.
But I love it. I'm so in on it, and I'm not telling you it's not cheesy at times, but I love the show. Love it so much. And the treasure hunt part does not disappoint.
What's the treasure? Is it like money?
It is $400 million worth of British gold, Royal British gold.
Okay.
From a ship sometime in the 1800s-ish, pre-Civil War, that went down, and nobody's ever found the shipwreck, or have they?
Oh,
have they found the shipwreck?
We'll find that out like in season 2, I'm guessing.
No, you find out in the season if they have or haven't. There's some twists. There are some twists. But I am in. And it takes place, Outer Banks. That's North Carolina. It's supposed to take place in Wilmington, North Carolina.
Okay.
But
that's where they filmed, that's where I think they filmed Dawson's Creek.
That's exactly where. And they were supposed to film in the same spots.
Is that right?
I thought that was a thing. But when they were filming this, there was a whole transgender bathroom issue there. And if you recall, North Carolina did not exactly take a popular modern day stance to it. And so they went, we're not filming it there. So they relocated to, of all progressive places, Charleston, South Carolina. I don't know if you know this, hub of the Confederacy.
Yeah. You can walk down Main Street of Charleston. There's signs like, this is where the Battle of blah, blah, blah was. And
Yep. But man, the eating's good in Charleston.
Charleston's a great town. No, don't get me wrong. I love that place. Fantastic.
I can't get past some of the cultural issues, but the food there might be the best in America. Might be.
Okay.
I'll stand
back.
I'll stand behind. I had Kansas City barbecue there. That was fantastic. The seafood, second it on.
Well, first of all, Kansas City barbecue, you can have it.
Nope, good. We got classic McEwen out. We got classic McEwen out for the show. And again,
I was not impressed.
I'm from Chicago, is all I'm saying. And I'm saying this, okay?
I know, but that's what I mean. You can get way better barbecue in this town than you can in Kansas City or Charleston. Way better. I mean, you haven't gone to Green Street yet, though, so.
I don't need to. I have my own house.
Yeah, okay.
Just saying. But anyway,
at any rate,
they have their, the Kooks belong to this country club and they shoot some golf stuff there. And then, of course, I'm like, what golf course is this? Because it is somewhere cool and fancy looking, but
really
so good. I'm in on Outer Banks. Other people should watch Outer Banks.
All right.
We talked TV long enough. Let's get down to it. We're going to do golf talk, and golf talk's going to go today.
Yeah, we got some stuff.
Golf opened Friday, May 1st in Illinois. Post-COVID, I want to remind everybody, we're going out in twosomes, 15 minutes apart, no carts unless medical exemptions, and even there are strict rules. There are no garbage cans. You cannot go in clubhouses. There's some courses at different operations for takeaway food and alcohol, but that's a thing. Can't be there any sooner than 15 minutes before your tee time. No congregating, no pulling flag sticks.
Right.
We're golfing, though. And by all accounts, we had great weather all 3 days since golf has been open. The state in general seems to have behaved itself well. You and J-Riv were on the ground on Sunday. Give us your report. Right. Give me your report.
So it was great. And it was so obviously I live where I live in the city, and going for a walk in the city was far more dangerous than going and playing golf. I mean, I don't know if we might have saw two people on the golf course the whole time we were playing. So we went off at 6 a.m. We were first off.
Did you guys, did you tee off on 1 or did they start you off on 10?
We started off on 10.
A lot of courses are doing that. A lot of courses have been doing that for some reason.
Really?
I've noticed that.
That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Which is fine. But yeah, I mean, it was it's great, man. Other than the inverted cup, which I have a story about, and we should have brought J-Rip on the show because he could have talked about it, because he was far more enthusiastic and convinced about what would have happened if the cup wasn't inverted. So basically what this golf course did was, a lot of golf courses are putting foam, pool noodle pieces or whatever. Yeah. What this course did is that I think they flipped the hole upside down and stuck the flag in that way. So you had sort of 4 different quadrants of the hole. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it, but you really like, unless you hit a very, very exact, perfect putt. I mean, perfect putt, the ball wasn't going to stay in the hole. Like it just wasn't going to happen. It would just like kind of roll over the whole thing, or it kind of like whatever. I think we might have, I think Josh putted out maybe 4 times the whole time. I might have putted out once, but otherwise, like the ball just wouldn't stay in the hole necessarily. It wasn't a great way to do it, but like, who cares? Like, of all things to complain about.
I was going to say, like, I'm at a point where I hear that and I go, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
I got the idea.
Yeah. But the reason that it was an issue today is because basically I got a coronavirus hole-in-one. Like had the hole been a normal hole, Josh is convinced. He's like, you owe me drinks, you owe me beers. I saw it. Like he said, if that ball would have stopped in the hole, like we would have violated every coronavirus social distancing rule, and we would have been hugging and high fiving because it was that. Like it probably would have been a hole-in-one. Like legitimately, probably been a hole-in-one. So I have a Corona hole-in-one. I'm just calling it that because there's really no way to know. But just the way that the ball acted and the speed of it and everything, like.
You lack a certain enthusiasm over this, and I find it odd, good or bad. I didn't get texted about this by either of you.
Well, you know why? Because I was going to tell you about it on the show.
I'd accept.
Yeah.
Did you say to Josh? Did you say to Josh? Don't text Bill. I'm gonna say it for the show.
I didn't. But I guarantee you that
I can't wait to get a text like when he listens to go. It'll be
100%.
We'll be like, oh, Josh was in a show now because we'll get our group text back. No, I knew, which is good for him. Like, I'm glad he's in tune. That's our guy.
Yeah. He knows. He'll wait for the show tomorrow, and then he will bludgeon you with texts about the like he was. I can't wait.
This is where I'll just go, oh, that's interesting, and somehow you two will be mean to me, and I really look forward to it.
So here's the fun part about well, first of all,
what hole is it?
I want to say it was like the par 3 12th. No, well, it was it would have been the 4th hole. Yeah, it was
10,
it was 11, the 4th hole.
13.
Yeah, but we played 10 first, so we played the back 9 first. So it was the 4th hole on the golf course. Easy. It was an elevated 100-yard shot, probably.
That's not the one. That's not the one. It's sort of longish, and basically, if you miss, like it's in the quarry, right? Like if you miss left, it's a steep drop off into the water.
No. That's the back. Yeah, you're thinking of a different one. This was on the front 9. That is on that's later on the front.
Wait, so 9. You're on the real number 4, not the 4th hole you played.
Right.
Okay, so that was that.
This is the first par 3 you're going to see on the course. If you're playing
it is in the quarry, but it's that short one.
Yeah, you're hitting over the quarry.
Downhill.
Correct.
Yeah, real downhill.
Correct.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. So
and I'm not name dropping the course, so it's good we've figured out all these numbers together.
I do love the golf course, but
me too. It's a great course.
It's a fantastic golf course. But anyways, the highlight of the day throughout the day before we got, this would have been the 13th hole or whatever we played of the day. But my irons from 8 to the 56 were spinning the ball like you wouldn't. I was sucking the ball back like you would not have believed. Those Tour XS, man, the BXS. They're spinny golf balls.
I've been trying to get a review of it on my website for a while. I hear a lot of good things about it. Just
I owe you like 3 cents.
As I say, but the person I know who says the most good things about it just can't tie it up into one final thought to be like, right. This is why I love the ball. Because
that's what the readers want.
That's what they want. I give the readers what they want.
Right.
That's what I do.
Anyways, so on this particular hole, it's a 52-degree wedge into it. I probably hit it 15 feet beyond the hole, but it plays off the slope and it spins back. And it would. I'm pretty sure it would have went in. I can't get too enthusiastic about it because it was a Corona hole-in-one. Like, do I know factually speaking that it would have been a hole-in-one? I can't say that. Josh will tell you that. Josh would be like, that was a hole in one.
This is where
we talked about it for the rest of the round. But for me, like it was. I mean,
you know what it feels. You know what it feels like. You played baseball at a field that didn't have fences, and you just blasted one like either down the line or dead center, maybe 450 feet, and you got a home run, but you weren't jogging. You had to run the thing out because there were no fences. And you're like, if there was a fence, it was going over.
Right.
But there wasn't a fence.
Right. You said if I would have been in Wrigley Field, that would have been in the bleachers. It's kind of the same thing. Yeah. But I'll take it. I mean, it's fine. You know, it was a great shot. It was a great shot. It was super fun.
I'd say it's a great story, and I think like in a way, I mean, I'm with you. I'd be like, I'd be so frustrated. I'm like, I can't count it. Like,
no, I'm calling it the Corona hole in one. A lot of people have. Jordan Spieth had one this week. He had a coronavirus hole in one.
It's one thing if you're like resting up against the elevated cup or leaning or something, right? Right. Yeah.
You walk up to it and it's up against the cup. I mean, we didn't have that option. So yeah, I wish they would just lower that upside down cup just a little bit so the ball could actually like go into the hole. But like, you know, who cares?
I feel like
it was fun. It was a great shot. I'm not going to lie. It was a fantastic golf shot.
We should write
just to have just the fun of spinning the ball back so much was a blast.
We should write a blog about it and send it to the course and like, hey, Rabbleso's using the lift holes. You got to be able to do something better than this, guys, because here's what it cost me. And they're probably doing it on purpose because, like, well, you can't come in here and buy a bunch of drinks and buy the bar drinks. So
yeah, right. It's great.
Which I just saw their renovated bar. God, was it last year? And for the first time, that place is cool now.
Yeah, that place is super cool. Super cool. But yeah, otherwise, great to get out. Fun round of golf. I should have, remember we talked about I put my my social media tag on the golf ball because I got free. Like whatever it is on the golf ball. So I should have 5 new followers at some point. So
I forgot that place is
lost a few golf balls, but
easy place to lose golf balls. Maybe that's how people figure out like what a weird series of backdrops you have. So you have the whole quarry, which is cool.
Yeah.
You have the community college behind hole one, the actual hole one. Then you have the juvenile detention center behind whatever holes that is. And then you have the water treatment facility that often stinks.
Right next door
the course is super cool. And I feel like if they could add a few tee boxes and how they set that up, if Harborside could host a tournament, like this place could host a tournament, and that's that. They don't have a few bells and whistles they need to have for it, but like to me, it's that cool. And if I live closer, I'd have a membership there in a heartbeat.
Well, that's why we went. That's why I was cool with playing it because it took me like 35 minutes to get there. I mean, how often can I get from my house to that golf course in 35 minutes?
From my house to that golf course in normal times is 55 minutes. Though
that's how it is for me.
They added
best case.
They extended that Elgin O'Hare Expressway so I can get out west in that weird like between the highway spot a lot faster than I used to be able to. So
okay,
maybe it's not as bad. But either way, 2 small kids. I'm not going to play golf on a regular basis. Every week, 35 minutes away. I often thankfully have the Village Links of Glen Ellen nearby, which is a nice little course. So I'm gonna have to pull the guys. I don't have that kind of time. I need you to meet me at the course 2 minutes from my house. It's good golf. We'll play 18.
We don't care. We don't care.
That's basically my whole golf career post kids has been searching for that combination of persons. Like, as long as that means we get to play together, sure, let's go.
Yeah,
because Tommy and John will be like, oh, I already played there twice this year. I don't really like it. Like I don't even care if I like courses at this point.
Yeah,
and then we end up at St. Andrews.
Oh, that is kind of your go-to, huh?
Yeah. Because usually Village Links is filled with permanent tee times, but this year it's going to be different.
Yeah.
So you said people behave themselves well. How long did your round take?
About 3.5 hours.
How was the wind?
It wasn't that bad. There were a couple holes where it was a little whippy, but it wasn't. I was going to ask you if you've ever played it, because we've only played it kind of early in the season. So I'd like to play it kind of midsummer when it's really kind of, in shape and we can get some of that wind. But we didn't really experience a lot of it today.
I would tell you the wind's worse this time of year and in the fall.
Oh, really? Okay.
I mean, to be fair, you can get it anytime because of the design. It'll whip at that place.
Yeah.
I've got my ass handed to me a good few times there. I've also dominated a handful of times. But
that par 3 that you were talking about, when we were up there, the wind was like, it was probably a 3 club wind. Yeah. It was rough. Yeah.
Well, it's like you could have to hit a hybrid or you could have to hit a 9-iron on any given day.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Exactly. Yep.
Man, there are a lot of neat. There's only like 2 holes I think are kind of stupid there, but even still, they're neat and they're playable. But
yeah,
man, what a course! And I love it that we're not saying the name. We keep telling them how much we love it. I'm going to keep it that way.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the first hole is kind of like meh. It could be on any golf course for the most part. But then you get into it a little bit. Some of the holes are just so fun.
I think that's
so much fun.
That first hole's fine. That hole tricks you with its green. Especially mid-season. Yeah. It's a complicated little green, but then that second hole has so much trouble, and it's such a blind tee shot.
Yeah, it's like you could tee shot.
You could hit one perfect, so you think, and you're like, I don't even know where it is because I can't see past here. I can get a general idea. But if it bounced funny or whatever, I have no idea because I couldn't see it. And then it's like, it's 3-foot high fescue on both sides. And it's really
right.
Like,
Josh hit a bomb on that hole. Josh hit just a driver that went forever on that hole. Way up the hill. Way up the hill.
I have one bone to pick with you about this round. And you being your internet golf guy thing.
Yeah.
You made this really like stoic, spiritual golf. I will never take you for granted post. Never again. Kris, I gotta tell you something. You do a podcast, 2 podcasts, and a YouTube show in addition to other golf content. I don't think anyone's ever going to accuse you of taking golf for granted, and I don't think you've taken golf for granted.
Maybe. I don't know, man. I kind of feel like I never expected to like be told that I can't play golf.
It doesn't mean you were taking it for granted. I think the fact that
maybe I just didn't appreciate it like I do now. Like today, like Josh and I both at separate times during the round were like, man, this is just so great. And you don't do that. Like we didn't do that once last year. You know what I mean? But like today we're like, it's so great to be back.
You guys clearly don't have small kids is all I got to say. Cause like every time I play, I'm like,
we play every weekend.
Thank God. Oh, by the way, it reminds me, I need one of you guys to do another ball review. And I know I gave one of you some of these balls, so I'm going to need that to happen. Content is getting a little dry.
Okay.
I mean, I'm scraping some blogs together. Let me just tell you. Just look around. Oh yeah, I'll write a blog about that.
But. Right.
All right. Yeah, I think we could.
But I think overall it was a successful showing for Illinois golfers. I thought everyone did a great job. The golf courses did a great job. I don't think anyone's kind of stretching the rules or anything like that. I thought it was really great.
I want to hear
next weekend.
I want to hear about the private courses and
well, that's going to be different, right?
How they're doing because they've been struggling to come to terms with what they can and can't do. Yeah, and I mean, I think it's going to depend. Like, if you're out at Elgin Country Club, it's probably going to be a little more like, it's just a few of us. Who cares? Kind of a deal. But I could see the like Oak Parks and Beverleys of the world, and I think. I don't know if I mentioned the podcast, and I know Medina had issues about what they can and can't do to open up, and that might be a different thing. But I'd be interested if you guys went to a more populated area, I guess, than you played in. Somewhere that isn't in the boonies and gets more traffic as it is, and see what that behavior is like. And then the other thing I wonder is, all right, if we're all in our best, because I'll just say based on what I've seen in my neighborhood recently, people are just flat out giving up. Like, we've been doing this long enough. We've had enough. How long it'll last until the golf course is like, I don't want to say lose control. That sounds a little dramatic, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, kind of push the envelope a little bit on it.
Yeah,
maybe start sneaking in 10-minute tee times rather than 15 minutes or whatever.
I was thinking more people start getting like 10 guys and booking 5 twosomes in a row when we're not supposed to, or supposed to be bunching up, and then next thing you know, it's like a hodgepodge six-some making the turn.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. No, there wasn't any of that today, at least not at that golf course. So that was good.
I wonder when we'll get carts and stuff back.
It's a good question.
I guess, like, when will this thing, I mean, one might say people have thought this might be returning things back to the days of more walking and less carts in general.
Yeah.
But I also don't think golf carts are the big, I don't think you can't do it. I get it. Like, you can't toot a cart right now is not what we need to be doing. But yeah. I don't think I'm in the camp of, I don't think golf carts are their biggest problems. I mean, silly shit. Like, hey, Chris, try this hybrid I have, and you're manhandling that. And I saw good old Ashley Mayo of golf.com. Okay.
Yeah.
Paid Bethpage Black this weekend.
She did. I saw that.
Did you see her Instagram story where she's like, it's only been open 2 days and there's already a broken shaft in one of the garbage cans. That's what this course will do to you. She walks up and just picks it up out of the garbage can. And puts it back in. Now, she could have hand sanitized or something right after that. But
yeah, hopefully.
Just leave it in the garbage can.
Yeah.
But as you know, I can't trust people.
I have an unpopular opinion. The Bethpage Black stuff, I'm already over. I'm over it, man.
What do you mean already over it? Like,
just with how hard it is and the sign and the whole thing. I'm just annoyed by it because I'm just annoyed by the whole thing. Plus, it's New York. I'm sure it doesn't help.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot to unpack in this that I'm not quite hitting on because it's like I would love to play it.
Why? Because it's hard? What fun is that? Why is that fun? Why is it fun to get your ass kicked by a golf course?
Same reason it's fun to be like, wow, this course wasn't hard and I killed it today. I feel like it's a different. I'm not at that level of golfer, so I guess that's why. I get my ass kicked by any golf course, so it's a different experience. It's like I feel
what's different about it specifically. What's different about the experience?
Whoa, take it easy. Jeez,
I just want to know, like,
just
why is this? I don't get it. Like, I get it. It's hard. It's a really hard golf course. Good for the golf course. I'm happy for it.
I want to see. Is it neat hard? Is it stupid hard? Like Orchard Valley and Aurora? Like, no, this is just because you made it dumb. Is it the wind? Is it the greens? What is it? I think that there is the flash of it's had pro events, and I read a story about this.
I don't care about that either.
It's an experience. It's doing it to say to like Aaron Hills, right? Fine. I've played it. I'm good with it, but I'm glad I did. I hosted a US Open. Cool. And it was very difficult and it kicked my ass. It was neat.
Yeah. And you're kind of like, you're a golf course, kind of bucket list guy, right? Like you kind of got your list.
I do, but I'm not that guy who's like keeping a spreadsheet and going to write a book about it, like read a book about it someday. But like, I think if you have the opportunity, it's fun to play courses the pros play. Like, and I say like, okay, great. You could go drop in the hardest course in the world in Sand Valley and get your ass kicked by it. Like, did the pros play here? What, other than being a stupid hard course in the middle of nowhere in Wisconsin, what's the story about this? There isn't one. I don't really care. Like, okay.
Sand Valley?
No, I'm saying if you did that at Sand Valley. If you did that, I don't care. Oh, if you did it at Sand Valley and it like hosted a tournament, I'm like, okay, it's got a cool little tail to it. I can say I can do it. And fine.
See, but hosting a tournament, like, who cares?
oh, I have a whole reason we're hosting a tournament doesn't necessarily mean anything's a good golf course, because most of the tournament reason you host a tournament is because you can accommodate a tournament. The Belfry, home of like 700 Ryder Cups, is a perfect example of this. But I played it once. I don't feel like I ever need to play it again. I would like to go play Bethpage Black and be like, oh, okay, so this is what the hubbub's about. It is a noted golf course with some history to it. All right, I've done it. Cool.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. And
I guess it's really low on my list of courses I want to play.
Yeah,
I'll put it that way.
That's fair. That's more than fair. I think when it was like, oh, it's just this interesting little like niche thing where you had to stay in your car overnight and be in the parking lot, kind of like the old course, right? It's a similar kind of vibe.
Sure. Right.
And okay, that sign is there. And if you recently came out like where the history of the sign came from, and the guys were like, we should just put this up because people don't seem to realize this about this course. Well, like everything in modern day golf where it's, hey, look, I Instagrammed the sign. Oh God. Okay.
Right. It's become a thing. I guess it's not the golf course's fault that I have Bethpage Black fatigue.
When you went there,
it's everyone else's fault, I guess.
Took a picture of it with your disposable camera and then like printed it out or developed it and framed it, and someone comes to your house and sees it on the shelf like, oh, that's awesome. You played there, and that's the sign. Is the sign cool in real life? Now it's like Ashley Mayo's picking graphite shafts out of a garbage can that somebody touched during. Oh, and by the way, this is like in the hotbed of American coronavirus.
Right. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to go off on a tangent. I'm just kind of over the Bethpage Black thing.
I will agree. I'm over the hype of it for sure.
Yeah.
I would like to play it. I'd like to. I mean, why? I'm also not making.
Why would you like to play it? Just because the pros played there?
And see what the deal is. See if it is this big experience letdown. See if it is actually pretty cool. It's just really hard. Or if it's like, no, this is the worst. There's something to that. There's something to the golf experience being like, this is the worst. Yet at the end of the day, you still got to go play golf.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, let's put it this way.
I just don't know why that would make it. I don't know why the difficulty of a course would make it a destination. What you're saying, I would not go out of my way. Like, I am not planning a trip to New York to go play Bethpage. Do you know what I mean? Okay. Yeah.
I'm Tommy going to visit my family who lives there. Well, I'm here. Let me go play Bethpage.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I would
do. Maybe there's someone out there that could, let me know what, maybe there is significance that I don't know about. I'm not saying that I can't change my mind, but if someone wants to reach out and be like, no, this is why, then all right, change my mind.
Given your point of all the hype and buzz and just like being the cool kid and with your Sugarloaf visor and your Melbourne, crew neck sweatshirt,
right?
Like, I don't care why someone else thinks it's good or whatever. And I think that's what, like, honestly, that's what you're saying.
Yeah,
I don't care.
That is
like,
what I'm saying.
I don't care why you think it's good. And like, look at Instagram this. Like,
I guess I don't care about the reasons that you're telling me that it's good. Like, to me, those don't make it a reason to play.
I never told you it was good, but I think that's
what I'm saying in general. I'm saying people that like people in general, not you.
Thank you.
No, just in general. That. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. I agree with that. And again, like I said, to your point, makes it a destination. Like, that's what I was going to emphasize. I am not going out of my way to make that happen. You might convince me to say, you know what? I want to go play a lot of courses in Florida. I'm going to go play Sawgrass, and then you can play all the other courses and that complex, or I can head to Stream Song or whatever. I hate to be like this. Stream Song's getting a ton of credit all over the place.
But Stream Song intrigues me, I think.
Which is, well, and so same thing, like Bethpage intrigues me. Now, if I was down playing Sawgrass.
Don't use my verbiage.
Why? And that's why. It's the right term.
I'm just messing with you. I know. Go ahead.
But that's just it. It's I guess that's what it is. It's satisfying and intrigue. Like, why is this such a big deal? It's not a big deal because I played it for myself. Again, I'm not dying to make a trip down to Orlando on my own. Now, for the website and the right things fall into place, different story. But a trip down to the Orlando area to play a stream song, kind of to that point of like, what other than just like, okay, some nice designers did some work here, and by all accounts, everything's sweet and it's a good experience.
Yeah.
I don't need to go do that. There is that piece of like,
that's funny.
I want to play Sawgrass. I want to hit one on that island green. I want to lose 100 balls. I want to see what Sawgrass is all about. Sawgrass to me is a destination. Stream sounds like, if I'm going to be down here, let's do it.
Oh, I'm probably the other way around. Like I would stream song. I will play stream song for sure. TBC Sawgrass, maybe if I get a chance, but like stream song to me kind of is more interesting from a golf course perspective than Sawgrass.
I could agree with that. Yeah, well,
not to say that I don't want to play Sawgrass. Like of course I want to go for all the same reasons you do. But if they said you get to play at TBC Sawgrass or you get to play at Stream Song, I'd be like, I'll play Stream Song.
So what's funny is I would pick Sawgrass, and the reality is it's like for 4 or 5 holes, because I mean I'm sort of all in on. It's pretty nondescript. I mean, I think it's tough, but Sawgrass is pretty nondescript except for a handful of holes, obviously. But 17's up there as a top 10 most famous holes in golf.
Iconic, absolutely. I'd love a shot at it.
Right.
But yeah.
But that's that itch for me, and to be like, I guess it's different, but it's the same principle as Bethpage. Whereas like Bethpage, I don't have that where, I mean, let's be honest too. If I'm going to play Sawgrass, probably while I'm down here, I'll knock out like Stream Song is part of that trip.
Sure.
But my main target there is going to be Sawgrass. Now Bethpage, it'd be more like, I'm not going to book a flight in a hotel to go play Bethpage, like just to go do that. But, next thing you know, somehow I get this East Coast trip and like, well, Winged Foot, Oakmont, you do all this rounds. Like, sure, I'll add Bethpage into it, but
sure, I could see that.
It would. I mean, those are obviously historic course.
That's those are a little different. But Stream Song, you can go and stay there. Like I would go and like not leave. That's the other kind of inviting thing about Stream Song is that you can just kind of hang out. They have the putting course. They have the whole kind of deal there.
So does Sand Valley, which is like 3.5 hours from here. And that's what I fall into. It's Sand Valley, by the way.
I want to play both of those.
Sand Valley,
I want to play both of those.
Sand Valley is very historically, not of golf, historically of planet Earth. Interesting.
Yeah. Planet Earth.
That's true, right? Oh, this was actually
you're right.
a desert. And you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Well, because it's a prehistoric glacial lake, and then it was all sand, and then someone, centuries ago just made it a pine nursery and completely altered the ecosystem. You're like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty great. I know, it's pretty cool.
Anyway, this is probably
that was not on the list of topics.
No, nor an exchange anybody cared about. So whatever. All right. Well, hey, everybody, welcome back to Having Some Golf Open. We're not at all 100% of the states yet, but we're getting there. I almost said 100 states, which that'd have been awesome.
Easy.
Yeah.
Hundreds of governors. Yeah.
Hundreds of governors. Oh, boy. Politics. Am I right, boys? But anyway, hey, guys, keep up the good behavior. Let's get these golf courses stabilized and get things rolling. Let's get through this stupid pandemic. And maybe, just maybe, our golf courses will get back to normal in the near future. But until then, everybody, stay safe. Be happy. Chris, it's been a pleasure, bud.
Yeah, man. It's good to talk to you again. I missed you.
I missed you too. Bye, everybody.